I'm here with Catholic head basketball coach Bobby Steinburg. His Crusaders win at 50-38 over the Norview Pilots on the road here to open up 2024. And coach, I know your team was playing quite well before the holiday break. First period, both teams very rusty. I think it was 8-8. Neither team shot it better than 15%. Neither team shot it better than 30% in the second quarter. But around the second half, you started to show some signs of life. What enabled you to kind of put this one away late?
I think it came down to toughness. The game was ugly. We did not play well. Offensively, we were an abomination. Defensively, we made some big plays. But at the end of the day, I think toughness prevailed. And that's about all I can say. They're a tough team, and they make you earn it. And it was a physical game.
Much different than a year ago when you hosted them, coming into Norfolk, Eastern District, that rugged physicality that they have. How did you keep Keon Fats Mitchell, one of the best guards in all of Tidewater, a sophomore for them, we're number 3, to no field goals for almost 3 quarters, and he was held to 11 points. He usually averages about 20, 25. What was kind of the strategy coming in to slow him down?
We just talked about we think that defensively our guards are pretty good. And we just talked about keeping them within the lane lines and flattening them out. And if he wasn't able to get penetration, he gets his body on you, and he'll spin off you and that sort of thing. And we felt like if we could just keep him in front, our press worked for a little bit too, so it kept us out of that half-court game. But, he's a good player. He's a good player. He knows how to use his body. But we were able to keep him in front of us. If you can keep a guard in front of you that's not a prolific shooter, then you'll be fine.
How has this group adjusted to your system and philosophies? I know you do have a couple starters back from a season ago, the historic team with Josiah Rickards and Braden Thorne, but you got 2 juniors, a freshman starting for you, and maybe not the depth that you were hoping or envisioning coming into the year.
Not originally. I don't know if you watched tonight's game. I don't know if you could even say there's a system, because it didn't look like one. They're doing a good job. We're not a deep team, like you said. We had a couple things happen early in the season, and so the dynamic of the team is a lot different. But at the end of the day, they're coming together and they fight for each other. And whether it's ugly or pretty, that they know that at the end we got to fight hard just to get that win. And so far, so good. We've caught on a little bit since December.
Sure. You've got one of the better class of 2025 players in the whole state with Ashton Walker. I know coming in, he was averaging about 20 points a game, almost 50% shooting, 9 rebounds tonight, 18 points, 14 rebounds. He's really hitting the glass for you and doing a lot of different things on the floor. Also attacked the rim, I thought, at will in that third quarter.
Yeah, he got downhill, and when he's able to get downhill and he's making his free throws, it's a good thing. People have trouble. He's so shifty, right? And, and they key in on him, and we got Josiah Rickards, and we've got Braden Thorne, and Alex Pieces. So we've got guys that can get downhill. Ashton's just a guy, he's a dynamic guard, and he's shifty, and he knows how to spin off people. Knows how to get that extra dribble in, extra head fakes. He's just a good guard.
You've coached a lot of years at the Division I level college basketball. What makes him, you think, so attractive to those schools out there that are looking at him? And he's still going to get better, it feels like. He's only scratching the surface of what he can do.
Shiftiness. Yeah. It's his shiftiness, change of speed, change direction, and his length. If I'm sitting in the stands and I'm recruiting that kid, there's not a lot of guys that have that shiftiness like he's got with the size for position. And he knows, he'll sit and tell you he's got a long way to go to be where his ceiling is, because it's a high ceiling. But that shiftiness, it's hard to teach. It's hard to teach. You can't teach it.
Yeah. Lastly, even with some of the components different than a year ago and things constantly changing, I don't imagine the goals change as far as what you want to accomplish as a group this year, conference-wise, state-wise. What's sort of the outlook for your team here as you move forward here into the teeth of January and conference play coming up?
I mean, we talk all year. We want to win the conference tournament, and get as far as we can in the states. Like I said, the dynamics of the team has changed a little bit, but that doesn't necessarily make it worse. We've just had to adapt and change the way we're playing. And hopefully we'll get Seth Burnham back here soon. He had the collarbone injury, and that'll give us a little bit more depth. But our goal is the same. It's to go out and win the next one. And we had that philosophy last year, and next thing you know, you look down, you won 30 in a row. And we were just looking at the next game. And so that's the only way we can continue to play. On to Friday night.
Yep, on to Friday night. And hey, an ugly road win's better than a pretty home loss.
You got that
so much.
right.
All the best.
Absolutely.